My name is Raquel Simmons. This is In Session. In being an acronym for intentional, so intentional sessions where we talk about all things from cultures, relationships, and how they intertwine. I am here to not only launch my cards, which I need to go get, but anyway, launch my relationship cards, and I will bring it closer to the camera. Launch my relationship cards, but also be able to kind of say at least one card for you guys and kind of let you guys know what it's about. Sorry. So let you guys know what the cards are about. So I will be launching cards very soon. So individual, family and friends. And this one that is couples, huh?
I'm talking.
Oh, okay. This one, sorry, we have a live on top of a live, so it's a live audience so it may be a lot going on, but we have this one that is couples edition. So we have family and friends, individuals, and this one that we're launching today that's family and friends. So we're actually going to go through one of the cards. I'm going to read it out loud, and we're going to have some friends kind of just answer the question that we're going to go through that is on the card. So before we do that, I'm going to put it here. This question that we're going to go through says, when do you know when it's time to get rid of a relationship? Listen, there's a lot of people that I have gotten rid of, and I have gotten rid of them in a different capacity. So I've been able to get rid of them. Even my family, they no longer serve the same exact purpose that they used to serve. So obviously, mother, father, like they have that role, but they don't serve the same purpose that they used to or that I choose for them to have. So, and also relationships, romantic relationships. Listen, there's a lot of people that had to go. There's a lot of people that I couldn't wait to have gone. There's a lot of people that I am very grateful that they are no longer in my life. Lord have mercy. And I don't know if anybody can attest to it, but thank you, Jesus. Like, I'm so happy that I've been able to eliminate those type of relationships that no longer serve me. I feel like I am elevated and I'm going to different places and different heights. Hello, period. So I'm going through different heights in who I am and what I stand for, and those people couldn't go with me. And even friendships. Like, trust me, I've lost a lot of friends. It hurts when you lose friends that are still alive. It hurts when you lose friends that are still alive, kicking it, and you still have them on Instagram. You know, now we just turned out to Instagram friends where we used to hang out every day. Or we used to like vibe every day, and they used to be my reality and my lifestyle. But in reality, this ain't that. Like, they're not serving the same purpose. So I definitely wanted to be able to bring along some people who are not only like, my friends who I wanted to be able to welcome in, but also people who may have shared the same values or the same, the same emotional connections that I may have had. So I want to introduce my first guest to it, and give us 1 second. We'll add her in, and then we'll keep going with the show.
You. Oh, I didn't know. You were saying anybody that...
Trust me, it's okay. This is a live on top of live. This is the first time we've ever done it, so it's okay for us to not have it 100%. Trust me, this is real live, real uncut. It's okay. I do not care. As long as we're all here sharing our story. What is it that you want us to do? I promise you, I want to make sure that I'm fulfilling yourself.
I was trying to go live on my phone also and tag you, but
no problem.
No, I don't want to mess up the camera.
Trust me, you're fine. It's okay. I already explained to all about in-session people that is a live on top of live, and it's the first time we ever do it, so I want to make sure that I'm fulfilling you as well. So where's your phone? No problem. It's all right, girl.
Oh, right there.
It is okay, girl. That's what happens when you have sometimes we have live things don't go as planned. And I want everybody to see the raw edited portion of things not going as planned. And I didn't really have a plan. So you know what? It's even going perfect, to be quite honest.
Okay. That's TikTok live. And I hope I spelled your TikTok correct.
Listen, you did perfect.
Okay. You can just plug it up there.
Yeah, girl, don't worry about it, girl. I'm still gonna post it. You want it this way?
No, upwards.
Okay. I hope it could fit in this.
Oh, no, go sideways.
You put the thing sideways, the phone's upwards. The phone, yeah.
Oh.
Look.
So like we're gonna do it this way then. Listen, all these gadgets I paid for, we better tap in. How about that? We make sure that we both see both of us.
Yep, you can put more on you.
No, on both of us. Well, lives don't always happen the way they supposed to, but they gonna happen regardless, because the message gonna get across, honey.
You know, they just watch mine. So you just keep track of comments and this comments.
All right, period. Look at us.
Okay.
Do I click it?
Yep.
Okay.
Period.
All right, so we're here. If I have to edit it, all of our things are going to be on YouTube at some point anyway, so that is quite fine. I do have a YouTube. Lord have mercy. Give me a second. I'm getting there. I have one episode on YouTube. If you guys ever want to see, that's what you guys will see, like the edited versions, or maybe not. You know, like the purpose of this all is the conversation and not so much the perfection. So, today's question towards our game is, when do you know when it's time to let go of a relationship? So now this could be anything. So this could be a romantic relationship, a friendship, or family, like a family member.
Just
when do you know when it's time?
A relationship in general? I think that's a good question, because I actually just recently lost a close friendship where I guess I was no longer serving them, which is fine.
Okay, plot twist.
Yeah, plot twist.
Okay.
But honestly, I just respect it. I feel like if something is no longer serving you, you know, depending on what your goals are, if a person or a family member is not serving you, you know, whatever your future goal is, whether you're trying to achieve like positive energy, if you feel like a relationship is draining you, then, you know, by all means, it makes sense to, you know, if the relationship no longer serves you, then you have to get rid of it. In my case, I had a new friend that I've only had for just several months. And I was going through school. I was going through a really tough time, going through exams. It was really stressful. And I met her at one of the most weirdest times where I just started school. And I was going through this intensive boot camp, intensive like hours of school, 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. So, you know, I figured like as a friend, she would be there to be supportive. And that's initially how it came off, that she was there to be supportive and you know, I would support her, but I was also going through a lot and probably not being the best friend, which I can definitely say that, you know, I can take responsibility for, that I probably wasn't as consistent with text messages and reaching out, but, you know, advising where I was and that I was going to be in a different space. It was just very difficult for me at that moment. And I guess it just didn't serve her any purpose. And it's just like, you know, I'm looking for a friend to have a good time with, travel with, go out with. I'm looking for a good time, you know, so I definitely get it that I'm not the friend that's going to be providing a good time at that moment. So, you know, at that point, instead of just vocalizing that I didn't serve a purpose in her life anymore, it was just like, I'm just not going to talk to you anymore. Like, you know, and I figured, like, I don't know what was wrong, what I did wrong, but then I'm like, well, maybe I just didn't serve a purpose in her life anymore, you know, and I accept that. Because I feel like maybe she's at a space in her life where she has her own things going on, where she's battling her own problems, and I'm trauma dumping on her as well with my school problems, and it's just too much, you know. So I respected it, and I feel like, you know, if it's not serving you and it's draining you, then you just gotta let it go.
Wow, first of all, thank you for sharing that. That was like such a... I wasn't prepared for this. I was ready to like talk about them like, because I remember
I just feel like...
And it was you. Like, I swear I was much ready for it. Like, the perspective of like, I had a friend who's no longer X, Y, and Z.
Right. I feel like a lot of people don't like to take responsibility in the relationships that they have. They always like to play the blame game when it comes to past relationships, past friendships, but think about what could you have done better in that situation. What did you do wrong? Sometimes it's not always, and if you see everybody else is the problem, then sometimes you're the problem. And I know when I'm the problem. I know I'm willing to accept and grow sometimes when I'm the problem, because I do a lot of I'm my biggest critic. So I try to think like, what did I do wrong in that friendship that I could have did better? And it was like, okay, maybe I was trauma dumping too much and not being considerate of what she was going through at the time, which makes a lot of sense. And it only takes somebody who's self-aware, an adult, to talk it out and to fix it. But her response was to just run and like, I'm not talking to you anymore. You don't serve me anymore. So I'm like, if that's your decision, then, you know, I can only respect it. That's how you handle conflict. That's how you handle conflict. I've been in a relationship for almost 8 years. I don't handle conflict by running. So that's just
sad.
not.
Okay.
Yeah, like that's not.
Listen, it was worth the whole time.
That's not my way. I like to address it. If it's a problem, let's address it. Let's fix it. But you know, that's some people's way, and they have their reasons, and that's completely fine. I've grown. I'm mature.
Okay, bro. So how do you feel like, all right, so just playing off of you have grown, so how do you feel like you now versus you then would have responded to stuff, something of that caliber?
Honestly, being a lot more considerate, as far as like...
This is you now?
Yes. Okay. Like just being a lot more considerate and not always having a problem with everything. And just trying to see the positive in things. Like, I know that sometimes I'm always overly stressed and I could always see the problem in something, but never the positive. Yeah. And it took me a while and medication to get to that. it took me a while to get to the point where it's like sometimes there's just things out of your control. Yeah. Right. What can you do? Like that's and it literally took me to have a mental breakdown like just a couple months ago to really get myself back in order, and that's the mindset I have now. That's what I would have done better, and you know, unfortunately she won't be able to see that part, but I know moving on in my other friendships that how to move forward, because I learned that, you know, she was a really great friend, really good person. I know I probably was too much, you know, so I just know to do better for the next time, the next friendship. Yeah. Wow.
Self-reflect.
Yeah.
Okay, self-reflect. Okay, so what if you could tell her anything right now, what would it be?
I'm sorry. No, it would definitely be like, I'm a little bit heartbroken. I didn't know her for a long time, but I felt like she was like a soul sister that I met online and was like, we clicked and had so much in common. I felt like we were here. So, you know, I felt like we were on the same page, so it's kind of shocking to see how she handled conflict. But yeah, I didn't know her for a long time, so if that's how she handles it, that's fine. So I will only apologize for not being considerate for whatever it was that she probably was going through. Because not everything's about me. I know people have their own lives, so yeah, I apologize for just not being considerate of whatever she was going through, and just not taking that into consideration, and just constantly just trauma dumping, you know. So yeah. I'll be the only thing.
Yeah. Oh, I love that response. I love that response. So what do you feel like, because I want to be able to offer two different perspectives. So the old you, right? Yes. Because this is a very much so mature person. Yeah. You know what I mean? What I hear. Yeah. So like the old you, how do you feel like you would have responded?
The old me probably would have like sent her a voice note, cursing her out. Or probably would have, I probably would have sent a voice note, because I did send a message and I just said, oh, okay, like, you're not, because I thought something happened, like, because I didn't know we were on weird terms. I thought something happened to her. So I was like, oh, so you're not dead. You just ignore me. Oh, okay. Okay. No problem. And I was just like, okay, no problem. And then, like the old me would have taken it even further and like probably throw subs or probably send her a voice note and like curse her out or whatever. But I'm like, I see where I went wrong. So that's how she handles it. Yeah.
Like, I think I'm curious to know what happened that you knew that she was just like fading away from you?
I sent a text message. Okay. And I said that I was going through this problem, and I apologize for not being consistent with messaging back. She wrote me back, and I didn't respond. Like, I'll read something and respond in my head, and I'm sure a lot of people do it. I read something and respond in my head, and I forgot. And then, like, a few weeks passed by, and I reached out to her saying, hey, I hope you're enjoying your summer. Hope everything's going well, because I was feeling much better. Like, my medicine started kicking in. Like, I started feeling a lot better. Like, my health problems I was going through, I started feeling better. So I just reached out to do a check-in and make sure she was feeling good, like, make sure she was okay. And, no response. So then I'm like, all right, well, maybe she did what I did. Read it and then didn't, like, just didn't respond. So then I reached out again, and I was like, hey, like, hope you're good. My wife is having a birthday party. I would love for you to come. I haven't seen you in like 2 months or so. No response. But then I see she's online. Like, okay, you're online, you repost stuff, so you just ignore me. So then I'm like, maybe you're online, but you're not. I'm trying to make up excuses in my head because I'm thinking there was no problem. But then I have seen her post a story on Instagram, and then I responded to that story like, oh, like, you're just ignoring me. Okay. And then she didn't answer that. Yeah, so then I basically unfollowed her on Instagram. Like, I just removed her. Like, if you're gonna, why follow me to like check in on me if you don't talk to me? Like, just remove me. So I removed her off Instagram, and I think she removed me. She stopped following me on TikTok, and I unfollowed her on TikTok, and it's just like a triple effect. It's just like, okay, you're not my friend anymore, and that's fine.
Oh, all right. So one of the things about relationships that I hear, just kind of like hearing what you're saying, is that like everybody feels like they need closure.
Yeah.
Like
everyone. Do need closure.
So how do you feel with even that situation? Because it doesn't sound like you got much closure. You just kind of like push towards. So one, how do you feel about like closures in relationships that's no longer serving you? And then how do you feel as it pertains to the relationship that you're saying, the friendship that you're having now?
I've had a lot of friendships or relationships end with no closure. And sometimes they bother you for a very long time, and you think that you're the problem. Like, it's hurtful if, like, somebody just kind of disappears out of your life with no reason, or tell you why, or, like, so that you can learn. Like, to learn how to do better. How do I know what I did wrong if you don't tell me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it is difficult to end a friendship or relationship with absolutely no closure. And I've dealt with it in the past, and I just put it on myself. Like, what did I do wrong? What could I have done better? And that's the only way to move forward, is figure out what you think you did wrong and just try to improve on that. And in that case, I felt like maybe I was dumping too much on her. So maybe I wasn't. I don't even know what the problem was. Maybe she heard something. I don't even know. But my assumption is maybe I was trauma dumping too much. And I feel like I could have did better with that. So I'm just going to do better with that. If it was something else, I'll never know. So I won't be able to.
Like, y'all haven't communicated?
No, I've communicated, like, but she won't answer. So I'm like, dang, you would thought I slept with your man or something. But, but no, it's just like, you would thought I did something crazy. But like, no, I just didn't respond to a text message of hers, and then I was just like, girl, that's not you. You're not serving me no purpose anymore. I was like, okay, all right. I don't know what to do with that, but okay.
Okay, wow.
Sometimes, you know what? Some people ain't meant to be in your life.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, I'm not gonna fight you I'm not gonna fight to get your life.
He know who gonna be in your life when it's time.
Exactly.
Because right now you're in a platform where everybody can't come with you.
Exactly. Yeah. So I just respect her decision, and then I just move on from there. I have tons of friendships that end with no closure, and it sucks because you're just blaming yourself. But, sometimes it's really them. Sometimes they want to cut everybody off. Sometimes they really need to shut everybody out. If that's your way, then you got to figure that out.
I think I'm wrapping it out, but I want to know, how long was this friendship, and have you ever met in person?
Not until it wasn't long. So I met her. So it was the worst time, but I signed up for an app because I felt like all the friends that I had, aside from you, were all busy doing like their own journeys. We're at this age where everybody's trying to figure themselves out, find their own journeys. So I'm like, damn, I don't really have like genuine friends like where I live, where I can hang out, like just like, let's go get our nails done, let's go out to eat. I don't have that. So I went on Bumble BFF. That's a really great app to make new friends, though. It really is.
I've heard about it.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, so I went on there and met her, and it was like instant click, because I'm like, girl, I don't text, so we do voice note, and then we just boom, boom, boom. Like the voice note starts strolling in, exchange numbers, and like within like, I want to say 2 weeks or 2 to 3 weeks, we went to the party, the private dancer party that I went with you.
Okay.
We went to.
Alright, you just say everybody there.
Oh no.
Alright. That's what you say.
I wanted to go, and this one had males. That's why I didn't tell you about it.
Okay.
So she agreed to go with me because I was gonna go by myself.
Mm-hmm.
So we met, and it was great. And then we had hung out again, and we talked like literally every day since November. So like every day we talked since November. And then when I graduated school, like my first thought process was I was going to get a job, do job searching, and that process it broke so much out of me. So that's why I told you I was going through way too much. Like I'm like right now in a financial situation that's difficult. Like trying to find a job out of school, having to pay bills while trying to find a job. It was a lot. I'm like, so that little period right there is that. So from November up until she started talking to me in like, I want to say August, probably late July, August, yeah. Okay. So about 7 months.
So you guys
we've hung out a couple of times. Okay. Yeah, we've hung out a couple of times. She's invited me to dinners like with her friends. Like we've hung out a couple of times where I went to intimate candle making. We went to that together. We've hung out a few times.
Okay.
Yeah, the vibes were good. She was cool. She's LGBTQ. Mm-hmm. She's a femme. She like only femmes. Like she's really cool. But we just didn't serve each other anymore, I guess. And the friendship wasn't that super long. Like I was upset the first, like when we first finally stopped following each other, all that good stuff. And I'm like, all right, this is the end of this friendship. Yeah. I was a little hurt, like what happened? And even Cassandra was like, what? No, she the problem. And I'm like, but because we haven't been friends for that super long, I'm just, I'm over it. I just now thought about it once you asked me that question. So, she was a really sweet girl. It was a sweet friendship, but,
Okay, so last question. I know I said, I just be thinking, but what do you think that you learned from that friendship? Like, what do you think that you can learn from
that? Friendships do work both ways. Communication works both ways. So it does. Me having ADHD makes it difficult. I have a very short attention span when it comes to text messaging. I only really like to do voice notes because they're quick and I can listen. It keeps my attention. Reading, I just have a harder time with. So when she sent written text messages, I can't read them. I'm like, well, I can read them, but I just don't feel like reading them. Or I'm like, I'll read them another time. And that's a part of what I deal with is putting things like tasks off and then forgetting about them. That happens all the time. Like I put things that belong in the freezer in the cabinet. Like I forget about things. So, so unfortunately I have to work on my communication style when it comes to friends, being more considerate.
Hey, okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. That was good. You provided such a great aspect. Like, I swear I was not prepared for you to be the problem.
I guess I'm the problem.
No.
I'm the drama.
One of the things, though, I do want to say is that I always say, like, we're not responsible for the action we respond. We're responsible for the way we respond.
Exactly.
So if you can learn something from anything that you have done, anything that is going on, I say go for it. And I appreciate that you was able to come up here and have that level of approach to it. Yeah. Because you could have been like, she just stopped talking to me, which essentially is what happened.
It is.
Without that explanation, but you were able to flip it and say, you know what? Yeah. This is how I can hold myself accountable to what was going on. Yeah. And so for that, I commend you. Because that is a skill that everybody, like,
we didn't end on terms of
y'all take notes.
Yeah.
Y'all take notes. And listen, the accountability aspect of like how you portray or how you can see yourself or how you show up in a relationship is huge. Like a relationship, no matter what it is both ways. So you have to be able to see like the position that you played in it. Exactly. You may not ever know the position that or why she did whatever she did, but for you to come up here and say like, oh no, I know where I went wrong. Mm-hmm. That was huge.
Yeah. I'm trying, Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, give it up for Sade. That was so nice. All right, so for those who are new here, this is a live on top of a live. So it's not going to be perfect, but that's okay because we know we're not meant to be perfect. We just meant to have a conversation and communicate. So the question that we have been answering off of our in-session game that I'm going to re-put up here, so I'm going to get out. Our in-session game for all those who are new here but not true to there. Listen. So our in-session game, this is a couples edition. So we are answering one of the questions off the game that says, when do you know when it's time to let go of a relationship? So I'm going to, before I even let another guest come up here, I'm going to say a personal story. Listen. Friends, I'm going to speak about a little bit of friendships and a little bit about friends and family. So for me, I value my friends as if they are family. And so it is very hard for me to let go of a friendship more than a family member. I know that's crazy because it's like family is like blood, and that's like, you know what I mean? Like out of all things, like you still have family. But for me, friendships I hold dearly because it's an investment. Family you are born in. You're going to be my mother, brother, sister, father. You're going to be that because that is the role that you have been given. You got a choice to be my friend. I got a choice to make you my friend. If I don't feel like your vibe, your energy, and things of that nature is aligned with me, absolutely not. No, think you can have it. And I'm very selective. And so when I break off that same level of ties with my friend, that hurts. Like, that hurts and that bothers me. And you know what? Outside of the guests I just had, I am not the problem. I am not that. Like, not in this case. I am bomb. No, I'm kidding. I'm able to, well, no, I'm not. But I'm able to, like, really acknowledge where I went wrong. But recently, I had to cut off, and this is a beautiful card that we have chose to pick, but I had to cut off a relationship that I didn't know. A relationship that should have been cut off a long time ago, but I didn't know how to cut it off, but I didn't know that it was going to cut off, but it cut off. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, come on, read between the lines here. So I had to, like, let go of someone who I thought that was going to be in my life forever. Are they still in my life? We can revisit this conversation offline. But the point that I'm trying to say is that I didn't know that they wasn't going to be in my life to the capacity that they are that I thought they would always be in. I thought that the people in my life, or this person, was going to be in my life as like my best friend. Nobody can tell me nothing. This is like who that is. But in reality, I had to let that person go and let go of those roles and responsibilities because I felt like the relationship that we had and the roles that I gave that person, they were never able to uphold. And so the expectations that I had for that role and for that like best friend vibe, it's not the same thing. It's not the role that I wanted them to have. And so the moment I start to let go of my own expectations, and sometimes that's what relationships are. They're like a give and take. You kind of say you expect certain responses or certain behaviors from somebody because it's like, I'm a good person. I want you to reciprocate that. But you have to also be aware that everybody's not able to do that. Everybody is not able to be that person that you need them to be. And so I had to accountability. I had to reevaluate my own thoughts. I had to circle back and say, wait, I'm putting on my own expectations that for this person that they possibly are not able to even fulfill. And so once I was able to do that, I was able to resurface and circle back and be able to say, like, wait a minute. This person don't even hold that much weight in my life. Why am I giving them so much? Why am I putting them so high on the pedestal? And they don't even do too much. Like, they don't do nothing. Yeah. Like, listen, let's have it. They don't do nothing that I need them to do, but that was my own expectations. And so the moment you start loving people for exactly who they are and not who you want them to be, the relationship then just changes into a whole different dynamic. Yeah. Outside of my own spiel. We're going to bring another guest on to kind of answer this question, and we're going to see their perspective. And so I didn't even expect the first guest, their perspective, so I don't even know what to expect anymore. Like, I don't know if this is my show or not. I don't know. I'm just sitting here. Like, I'm sitting here looking pretty because I don't know what's going on. So everyone can please join me.
Yes.
Hi, Rhea. Alright, so we are asking the question of when do you know when it's time to let go of a relationship?
I would say for me personally, I'm a very honest and blunt person.
Okay, honest and blunt.
That's me.
Okay.
I'm in a new relationship. I've been in a relationship for 5 months now, so it's very new.
Okay.
Shout out to the relationship.
All right. So prior to my new relationship, I'm very honest with my lady. I was a serial dater. I was outside, for lack of better words. I was outside. I was dating a lot of women. I was really not focused on settling and learning to love a new woman. And that was mostly because before my relationship now, I was previously engaged to a woman.
Okay.
So I was engaged. I was with another woman for 5 years. 5 years. So I spent a lot of time with her, and we had a very toxic off and on relationship where we would break up. I would probably go out and date, and then we would get back together. Then we would break up, and I would go out and date, and we would get back together.
And cycle.
Yeah, it was a bad cycle. So I brought that into my new relationship when I met my girlfriend now, and I did still have that connection with my ex-fiance where we weren't together, but I felt so attached to her that I wouldn't let any new love in. It was more of a let's have fun, let's do what we do, but I'm not open to loving you because I had my ex-fiance kind of like on standstill.
Okay.
So, what I had to learn how to do is to let that relationship go so that I could really focus on loving someone and getting to know someone and experiencing what healthy love is. And I feel like that was really hard for me because I had never fully let go of my past relationship. It was always there.
Yeah.
And when I got with my girlfriend now, I kind of, when my ex-fiance realized how serious her and I were getting, that's when a lot of toxicity came to play. And she was just like, how serious are you getting with this girl? She was the kind of woman where she knew I was dating other women, but it depended on how serious I was with other women, how angry she would get. So if she didn't think I was serious with someone else, it was okay.
Yeah.
But when she see like I'm serious with another woman, that's when she would kind of like pop back up and reappear. So I had to learn how to go no contact with that situation because I realized that it wasn't a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was hard for me because I've never gone no contact with her. She was always someone that was still there. And I always felt like, I could go out and do me and have fun with all these women, but at the end of the day, I know that was something I could always go back to.
Yeah.
And I had to learn very quickly that
It's like, what the hell?
I learned very quickly that
Are we the same person?
I know that when this woman came into my life, the way that she loved me, the way that she treated me, the way that she adored me, that was a situation that I had to completely let go of for me to give her the same level of love. So I would say in May, I went completely no contact with her. Like no calls, no text messages, nothing. And it was hard for me because I was so used to the toxic cycle for 5 years of going back and forth. But I realized just based off of the way that she loved me and the way that she supported me that she deserved for me to go no contact.
I mean, listen, hey, I'm not clapping out for that. Because, Lord have mercy, the goosebumps. Lord, are we the same person? Listen, it's alright. I'm allowed to know because it's live. You feel felt it. He felt it.
He felt it.
Listen, he
I
is
respect
me.
that.
He felt that, and that's who I wanted to. That's what I wanted to do,
What's
but I
that
knew
for?
it.
What's that for?
That's
That's
right.
All right. Well, all right. Whew. All right. That gave me goosebumps because you know what? I feel like we saying the same story. Like I feel like you just like anyway. Going no contact. Whew. Like, how was you able to just break that cycle?
I think when it became to the point of it was so toxic that she saw that I was falling in love with someone because we weren't following each other. You know, like if she comes on my page, that's something that you're totally doing on yourself. You know, you're experiencing that hurt for yourself. Mm-hmm. But she saw things that she didn't like, or she saw how serious I was getting with another woman. So she would send me things that she knew would affect me. Yeah. You know, not to get too much into it, but just like messages like, you know, I'll kill myself if you get too serious with her. And I felt like it was more of a like, it wasn't. I'm not saying suicide is nothing to play with, but when I see that you're just doing it for attention and you're doing it for the wrong reasons, that's when I realized, like, you know what, I have to do this for me and for, you know, and for this woman who came into this situation. You know, she doesn't deserve that kind of toxicity, and I was really, you know, based on the things that my ex were doing, I was taking it out on my new relationship, and, you know, I was bringing it to her, like, you know, maybe I just need to talk to her because she's saying that she's going to hurt herself, or maybe I just need to meet up with her, or maybe I just need to link up with her. But I realized that it was coming between what I could have been developing with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you mentioned though that you were a serial dater.
I was.
And you know what? Last time you and I really sat down and spoke, you let me know that.
Yes.
And then next week we was both in a relationship.
That's true.
And I don't know how that happened. Listen, that's a whole nother day, a whole nother conversation. I don't know what happened.
That's true.
Listen, something was in there. But what made you feel like in your relationship, like that was it? Like that's what you wanted to like hang up your like serial dating to be able to.
You mean in my current relationship?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think it's just how hard she loves me. You know what I mean? I always, like, my mom always would tell me, she's who I look to for advice. She always say, like, Rhea, you put so much more into people than they put into you. So you need to find a woman that still remembers that you're a woman and how you deserve to be treated. And I feel like with her, she really remembered that I was a woman. And she does very womanly things for me that I didn't have in my previous relationship.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you get through? First off, cheers to that. I mean, we don't got our drinks in our hands.
Nobody got a drink.
I understand that.
All right, there we go. There we go.
I don't understand why nobody do because, I mean, I don't know. But cheers to that because I don't know. Listen, I'm only so speechless because it's like, I'm just creating a platform.
I don't like you speechless. I want you to
no,
talk.
I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna talk, but you know what? Between you and the guests that came before, I didn't like y'all got me. Like I was very much so prepared for what I was getting into, and then y'all just like told me like sit down, be humble, like okay, Drake. But anyway, okay, so outside of that. What do you feel like, without being in this relationship that you are currently in, do you feel like you would have been able to let her go?
Honestly, not right now.
Okay, why?
No. Because I feel like my emotional attachment was so strong to her. And, you know, like dating, I hadn't found that. And I feel like maybe I didn't find it because I wasn't looking for it at the time. You know what I mean? But I feel like my emotional attachment to her was so strong that I wasn't willing to let another woman in. It was just like fun for me.
So what was that where you was like, all right, because honestly speaking, people can meet so much like the perfect person, but the wrong time. Like people can meet the perfect person that is for them and still be tied to like that level of toxicity.
Yeah.
So what do you feel like was like your level of okay, I'm gonna try to let her in. Let me see what this is gonna like where this is gonna go. Like, what was that level of openness?
I feel like it was just her accepting who I am. Like I told you, I'm just a very honest person. So anything I'm saying tonight is not something me and her haven't spoken about. You know what I mean? So I'm just honest with her, and I just feel like it was me meeting a woman that I could be completely honest with, and that loves me and accepts me with that honesty. Even if that honesty has some flaws in it, you're still gonna love and accept. Like at least she's being honest with me.
Okay, well, this is a toxic thought that I'm about to say.
Okay.
But if you could tell her one thing, what would you say? Now, if you
If I
could
could
tell her
tell
one thing, what would you say?
Damn.
Tap it.
You want me to be honest?
Yeah, what would it say?
Don't you come?
I would.
Bro, Jack.
No, on some real shit, I would tell her that I genuinely wish her the best, and I genuinely loved her, but I feel like our connection was very unhealthy, and I feel like I hope that she finds her healthiness, because I feel like that's so important. We don't talk about healthiness in relationships. Like it's supposed to be
we
healthy.
all here toxic.
You know what I mean? It's not,
if it
all
don't
that
hurt,
toxic
it
shit,
ain't working.
that's not the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be healthy. And I'm finally in a healthy situation where I'm completely honest. There's nothing that no one can tell my girl about me that she doesn't already know. And
He's like taking the words right out of my mouth.
you know what I
you
mean?
ain't saying that?
I've been toxic way before.
Yeah, like
Absolutely.
yeah.
All that.
I hear you.
So I feel what you're saying.
Yeah. So I'm blessed that I'm in a healthy situation, and I wish her the best. I genuinely do. I do, and I really loved her. I would let her know that.
Okay, what is one thing that you learned from her, or from being in that relationship?
I learned, as whatever you label yourself as, I'm not going to say I'm the hardest woman, but I am mass presenting, and my energy is very mass, and I learned how to still be appreciated and be treated like a woman. I didn't get that in that relationship, and it's something I was craving so much. I was so used to being quote unquote the man, and I thought that's another topic. I was so used to being the man, and that was draining in itself, and I had to learn that it's okay to be a woman.
Right.
It's okay to feel like a woman. You know what I mean? Even with me. Yes.
Don't tap on her.
Yes.
I'm always the next one.
I love that. Yeah. Like even if you have masculine,
the person that's in the back.
You're
yeah.
gonna be like, I got it. We got it. And then it's okay.
Or maybe sometimes you got it.
Exactly.
You got it. And I'm happy with that. Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's what I took from it. I learned how to be a woman and how to be comfortable letting a woman treat me like a woman while respecting my masculine energy. Yeah.
We tuning into her podcast.
Oh, period. Oh my God. First off, thank you.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know what anybody's about to respond to these questions, and I think that's the beauty of it all, to be quite honest. Like, everyone has a huge, so much of a different perspective that I didn't even think of. And listen, I wish you all the best in your relationship. Let's give it that. I am so happy that you have found a new love that is treating you the way you need to be treated.
Yes.
Listen, if y'all ain't feel that, I don't know if that tapped my soul, but I don't know about y'all, but Lord have mercy. I don't know if this was my twin, my twin from another twin, because Lord have mercy, I feel like she just spoke my story. But not too much of me. But I don't know if anyone else wants to join.
I don't know what the questions are.
All right,
I feel like I be
Cass.
sounding dumb, so I don't know. I'm sounding
Come
stupid.
on down. Come on, before we run out of time. Let's tell us that again.
Good chicken, man. Good chicken.
Oh yeah.
Good chicken, right?
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Not too much.
Y'all see me in?
You might have to. Oh, yeah.
Alright, it's the
Oh, yeah. We can see it. It's just, all right. All right, we are joined again with a. Oh, first of all, the love is in the building. Like, let's just start there. Like, the love is in the building. Look at all these guys that we not too much. Hey, y'all, welcome back to the live. Like, but anyway. All right, so I'm going to get up again to show those who are new here. We are promoting the cards. So we have individual, family, and friends. And then the ones we have today is couples edition. So I want to make sure I'm showing everybody here couples edition. So in session couples edition. And the cards that we are discussing here today says, when do you know when it's time to when do you know when it's time to let go of a relationship? So we are going to ask you, Kaz. Everybody welcome Kaz. Everybody welcome Kaz.
Welcome.
Kaz, when do you know when it's time to let go of a relationship?
Well, you gotta let God.
Oh, let
Seriously.
go, let go, period. Listen.
Yeah, I think it's time to let go when it's, for me personally, when I'm exhausted, if I tried every different angle, every aspect that I can see this work out, if I just know that I'm not going to be selfish and see that you're hurting in here, let me remove myself from the situation. Let you find yourself. If I'm sitting here like, I still want to be here, I still want to benefit from being in this relationship, but there's so much that you can shine within yourself, it's time for me to go. And if you're doing any harm to me or to this, our relationship, our mindset, our thoughts, our happiness, our home, it's just time to let a relationship go when you or myself can't feel that I can put my all into it.
Yeah. Oh.
Like if I can't put my all into something, I don't have the energy, the effort, thank God I woke up and I'm still with this person I'm with. It's no need for me to be here. I don't want to waste my time. And I don't want to waste that person's time.
Yeah.
It's like that's just
That's
just the feeling I get. If the vibe is not there, then I'm not there. I thrive off a vibe. So I don't know if it's a Virgo thing, but that's just what I thrive off.
My most toxic relationship was
we
Virgo, though.
Yeah, we get a little sassy, we get a little, But if it's just not, there, it's just not.
Okay. Oh, one of the things I do want to just, you seem like you're ready to dip off of it, but before you dip off, if you're not able to wake up next to this person, thank God for 24 and say you're still happy in your relationship, that is deep.
Yeah.
I want to be able to circle back to what you just said, because that's deep. Like, to know, like, y'all could have a whole argument, y'all could be going through something, but it's like, I still rock with you. Like, that is huge. Like, I don't want you to just escape from that point that you just made, because it's like, oh my goodness, like, that is the truth. When you wake up and you say, you know what, I'm not even able to shine, and my light is not shining, so I know yours is dim.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know, like, what made you come to that level of realization? Like, have you been, like, able in a point where that didn't feel comfortable to you to know, like, oh my God, this is not where I want to be?
Well, every day, personally for me, I'm always thankful for my wife, because in previous relationships, it was just, I'm here, what's the next headache? What can I yell at you about? What can you yell at me for? What is this? We look for all the petty things to see how far we can push you, how far this and that. And where I'm at now, I want to be thankful for everything that I have, everything that's coming. And if I'm waking up to someone, that's scary for me. If I'm waking up to someone I can't trust or it's highly toxic, then I don't need to be there. So it's like, I wake up, I'm thankful. I'm thankful for my wife. I'm thankful for the maturity in our relationship. And that's just, I'm with my best friend. So it's like, this is it. This is where we are. Are we mad? We're going to rub each other's back. We're going to get over it. And, we may not take time with each other and pray together, but outside of it, I'm always praying for her. So it's like, this is who I want to lay next to. This is who I want to continue to remember my vows with. This is just, this is it. 24 hours, 24, 7 days, 7 days a week, whatever it is.
too much. I'm just saying, you know, it's a little empty.
Just a chicken.
Anyway, listen, I fried chicken hard the first time.
Chicken don't get her married.
Nah.
Chicken don't get her married.
Listen. No, but okay. Oh my God, thank you. That was awesome. Oh, that was so like I loved it. I don't know what nobody about to say, but I didn't think you was about to spin it to like who you need to be with, you know, and you know, sometimes we don't recognize like who not for us until we realize like the person that's in front of us is who is for us.
Yeah, you have to make sure that you and the person you're with, if you're not on the same page, let's come to a middle ground. Let's see where we both stand. What's your morals? What's my morals? What's your, like, what do you see in the future? What do you see in your present? I don't like this. Well, how can we like this together? Or come to some some compromise or stuff like that. But it's like, who you're with is who you want your heart to be solid for. Like,
I have a question. How long did it take you to stop being toxic in your current current relationship?
oh, absolutely. Let me tell you. If you with someone who is not secure, you could walk. Well, I'm sorry, I don't even mean to say it, but if you're with someone who's not, and you're a cheater, or you're, like she said, a serial dater, and you're with a woman who doesn't stand their ground, who doesn't check you, who doesn't. It's like Toys R Us. Day 1, my wife called me a cornball. Day 2, I asked, can you be my girlfriend? Oh, you just got out of a relationship. Absolutely not. Come correct. Like, you know. Yeah, she kept a timeline. She questioned what time. Well, you go to bed at 9. So at 7 you had dinner, or at 8 you did, you know. When people are like, yeah, so you in tune with my day. You know, I'm serious. Let's be serious together. It's like, I want to be with a strong woman. That's just it. Like, I need someone to turn the tables where I don't want to talk to 10 different females. I just want to talk to you. I just want to give you my time the same way you want to give me. My time is valuable. Her time is valuable. So, let's make it work.
So last question, when did you realize, like, okay, the behaviors that I know, because you started off by saying, oh, what kind of argument we about to have today? So when did you realize, like, oh, okay, I gotta stop that pettiness? Like, this is my person. This is who I want to marry. Like, what was that switch for you?
Well, because I have to, like, reflect on myself, where I could just start a petty conversation. And sometimes I still do. But then once I think of it, I'm like, this can go this way. She'll go that way. I'll go this way. I'll argue. We won't talk to each other for 2 weeks. Then we're doing all of this when we both we don't need that. It's like, why am I, and then I'm going to search to see if you posted on Instagram. You're going to search to see if I posted on Instagram. We're going to post. I'm like, we don't need that. Like, communication starts with the both of us.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like, you know, that's
2.
just how it does take 2. That's exactly. So when you find out you want to be with this person, you want to make something work, you personally have to find whatever self-healing it is. And the only reason why I speak like this is because this is how my wife speaks to me, and this is how I see her. Okay. So these are the type of words that I use. Exactly. So that's just
crazy that I learned communication from her.
Yeah.
And then now that we're in like an 8-9 year stretch, she's learning how to better communicate from me. Because like now I've never like told my feelings. Yeah. And we had a disagreement, and she just likes to walk away like in the middle of a discussion, and I'm like, hold on. That's not no. I don't like tension. Let's address it. Let's talk about it. And that was never me. And that's the thing. Like the toxicity, I don't like toxicity. I'm the person, like, if I don't feel in a good mood, then you don't need to be here. Like, period. Yeah. And I was just the type of person that had very low tolerance for toxicity, BS. Like, I just got to a point in relationships where I knew what I deserved. So I just had held everybody to such a high standard that I'm not dealing with BS. Yeah. From the beginning. So then, like, if we got into an argument, I would just excuse myself from the situation, and she'd be like, no, we have to talk, like, what's the problem, so we can fix it. So now it switched. Like, early on, I didn't want to talk about problems, and I had to learn And then now that we're late in our relationship, I gotta remind her, remember, you taught me to talk out the problems, and now I'm here. I'm turking it out with you. Let's get back to the middle ground.
Just be with somebody that makes you better.
Yeah.
That makes you want to be better. Makes you want to be better.
Yeah. So now something's wrong, but we can talk about it.
I just want to point out, you said year 8, year 9. How long have we been together?
2015?
2015, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
And we never had one break ever. We never had a break.
We've
never had a break
at all.
Yeah.
I've gotten to points where I'd be like, and honestly, we're married, and I still say, I said this the other day, I say it all the time because I love her so much that I want her to live her best life and have the best partner, the best, literally, I want everything to be great for her. So if I feel like, you're not yourself or we're not communicating, how do we fix it? Do you feel miserable? Do you feel like you need to be alone? Do we need space apart? Do you need to see other people? I will ask you that. I don't even care. I understand I'm wearing this ring, but I will never feel like, I don't ever want someone to feel like they're trapped. Trapped with me or trapped in a situation. I'm literally open to hearing any and everything because I feel like we're human and we go through different life stages. We in the 8 years, we've been through so many different life stages. I got to do a check-in. Mm-hmm. How you feeling? How are you? Do you feel like you need to take some space? We've been together for 8, 9 years. That's a long time, and we've worked together. And I don't work, and she works remote, so we are around the clock together. All day. People always ask, "Do we get tired of each other?" No,
it's literally every day. It's like, my best friend, we're here.
We're tired of each other, but sometimes you just gotta. I just make sure to ask her, you don't have to be here. So you don't have to be here. Just reminding you that it's a choice to be in this marriage. You don't have to be in this marriage. It's a choice. You make a choice every day to stay in your relationship. Yeah. I always remind her, you don't have to be here. Yes, this ring is here, but I'm not going to be the type of spouse that's going to give you a hard time during the separation, the divorce, whatever. We've already made that clear, that we are always going to put our friendship first and not ever get be nasty to each other in the event we needed to separate or divorce or whatever. Obviously, it's not ever a plan, but just making sure, how are we gonna, if that ever were to happen? I think some people don't have that tough conversation, and that's why if divorce does come, it's nasty and they're not on the same terms. So the fact that we have been and we are, that's why I just be listen, if you're not happy, I'm noticing something's wrong, and you're not happy. You can leave, right? We can break this lease. And you could take some space to yourself, and I could take some space, and then we could reconvene or something. But just knowing that it's, your happiness comes first. Don't ever put someone in front of your own happiness. And I tell her, if you want to put your all into your content, you want to have you don't want to spend time with your family or your wife, and you want to focus on your content, maybe we take some space. Not break up and date other people, but some space. And then we'll come to a middle ground and discuss how we could figure it out. Where we compromise, but you're not compromising your own happiness. A relationship does come with compromise, but don't ever make yourself miserable to make somebody else happy. So that's where where it comes.
Did y'all hear that?
Wow.
Did y'all hear that?
Thank you.
Oh my God, thank you so much. Listen, this was very this was very that was insightful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Y'all.
Thank you for these cards.
Oh my God. I don't have any lip gloss on, so yeah, me either. It's already long gone. Thank you.
Behind the scenes.
Would you like to answer the question, or you just here?
Oh, what you want me to do? I was just going.
Alright, go ahead. You can close this out.
No, I wasn't gonna close. I just wanted to say how proud I am of my if you didn't know, I'm her twin sister.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to say how proud I am of you, for doing this. I'm really proud of her for sticking to something. Cause if you know my sister, she likes to do a lot of things, and sometimes she get into something and then she be like, nah, I don't know about this one. I get into it. So I'm really proud that she is sticking to this and is being successful. She's bringing us all together as black and brown people, as women, as just people in general. And I'm really proud of you. You look great. You're glowing.
Yes.
I can't wait to see what you got else, like what else you got in store for you. I'm really proud of you. And that's all I really came here to say. Like, you know, I don't want to. That's all I really came here to say. You know, I just want to. I really, you know, I'm happy for you. You know, I see your business growing into something beautiful, and I can't wait to see what it becomes. And you gotta close it out. Make sure y'all get your cards and stuff.
All right,
And fix
exactly.
your life. and
All right,
relationships.
so we're gonna close it out. That was such a beautiful way to close it. You know.
Yes.
But, thank you. All right. So, thank you all for joining. This is In Session, N being an acronym for the word intentional, so intentional sessions. Listen, we about to tap into these cards. Y'all need to stay tuned. When I post it, y'all better go get it. And when y'all go get it, I'm going to send it. It's a whole vibe. We here. Like, so today we went through one of the cards from the couples edition. So when I post it, make sure y'all follow it In Session MFT LLC, because you know the business is about.
Right.
So make sure y'all following me so y'all get the closest and the updates on when the cards are dropping. They are dropping very soon.
Yes.
So we'll be dropping the couples edition, the family and friends, and the individual edition. So make sure y'all look out. Thank you all for joining. Thank you, my guests, for joining. Live on live. Like, y'all are everything. Y'all was amazing. And thank you, and have a great day, and stay blessed, please.
Yes.
Alrighty, bye-bye.